Good evening, everyone. This is the Community Preservation Committee regular meeting. It is Thursday, May 16, 2024. We are in person at the Primetime Building and also available via Zoom. This meeting is being recorded and can be viewed at a later date on the Town of Dayton YouTube channel. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's all blocked off, it's under construction. Sorry.
It wasn't blocked off well enough to stop me.
Me either. They're not the only one.
They don't get the idea if they want.
Yeah, but it's not all the way, so it makes it look like.
All right, so we'll start off quick with committee member introductions. I am Kevin Smith, Chair, and also Parks and Recreation Representative.
I'm Brian Cedrone, I'm a member at large.
At Yale's Historical Commission.
Adele College, Housing Authority.
Dave Eckerson, at-large member and financial officer.
Dan Higgins, Planning Board Representative.
Jonathan Gale, ADA Coordinator, member.
Alicia Wilson, at-large member and vice chair.
Paul Reynolds, Conservation Commission Representative.
I would like to make a motion to take agenda item number 9, executive session out of order.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so I am going to stop the recording, then we will return. So we're gonna enter into executive session in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21(6), to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. We will return after executive session. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just going to make a motion now that we formally come out of executive session and return back to our agenda.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, so next we have approve the prior meeting minutes from April 8th for the regular meeting. Everybody had a chance to review those, it looked good to me.
All three sets of them. No.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth.
I'm kidding.
We all had a little bit of input. I think we drove poor Elizabeth, not mistaken.
No, I like the people.
I didn't even look to see what was different. I just said, come on. It's like,
Just wait for the
am I even
latest.
gonna remember what really was said?
So, and I'll entertain a motion. Anybody?
So moved. I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. So next, financial reports.
Yes, so, Kevin, we will keep these in public session possibly, we're gonna present this information in public session.
Yeah, so not in depth though, it's more just kind of in general.
So we're still working from a report we received in January, but the only difference will be, pending town meeting, is that more tax revenue has come in the collections. So as of January, we had a balance in all funds of $1,058,000, of which $577,000 was allocated already by previous town meeting votes. So that gave us $481,000, which you could think of as being free for immediate use on a new project. Some of that we have, potentially allocated pending town meeting. The number, 481,000, would grow with collections since January, which is two tax bills. And there would be, so that could potentially represent up to $70,000. There is some communication on state pension funds for this year. And finally, hopefully we can have an update on library grant money coming. So with all that in mind, we could approach about $700,000 in the best case scenario. But as of now, I think we could probably put that number available at about 550,000.
Does everybody get the correspondence from, the coalition?
No,
No,
Alright, so I'll make sure
I
I,
have to sign up for it at their site, I think.
I think it should automatically go out to our, anybody on our roster, but that might be what they have on their website might be a little different than, so there's probably some past members who are getting it, and some who are not. So just to kind of piggyback on that, hold on, let me pull that up. Cause Stuart did send out a few.
I get updates every once in a while when
Yeah.
there's something with the legislature,
Correct,
a lobbying effort, or a budgetary update of what they think might occur. Asking us to contact our state rep or state senator.
right, for,
Yeah.
yeah, to back up their, yeah, so just about a week ago. So they did, give a update regarding matching funds. So it just says, while collections for the CBA trust fund this year have been trending downwards, there is a silver lining. Higher investment returns have almost quadrupled the amount of interest being paid into the fund. The Mass DOR is charged with maintaining the statewide CBA trust fund, the funding source for the annual matching payments to CBA communities. But before the funds are paid out each November, DOR makes 2 adjustments to the fund balance. The interest that accrued during the year is added in the fund's bottom line, and then any DOR administrative costs are subtracted from the balance. The double dose of good news is that the revenue from interest is up, and the DOR has not deducted any administrative expenses over the past 4 years. So they did. There was an update on percentages. It's,
Yeah, 14%.
was it 14%?
Yeah, as a projected matching rate. November.
Which was down from the usual 20, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Because of reduced housing transactions,
Correct.
real estate transactions.
Does anybody have any questions on financial reports? Alright, so moving on to old business, so we're gonna I wanted to just do a quick review of our annual town meeting warrant articles, just so that we're all prepared. They've all been tentatively placed on the warrant. There's no the recommendation is our own. Board of Selectmen and Finance Committee do not make a recommendation on our articles, they're solely based on the committee's opinion. The last kind of step is just town council's final review on any language, but these are pretty cut and dry with what we've typically done in the past, so I don't foresee there being any changes. I just want us to be prepared, because as you all know, I can't get up and make that motion anymore, so
who's gonna do that?
are you gonna attend? Yeah, so, yeah, go ahead and take on that role as our vice chair, that'd be awesome. I don't know if you necessarily have to read out the whole article, because sometimes you can just make a motion that as read.
Okay.
I think last year I did read them out, but I don't think you.
I've seen some pretty long ones.
But yeah, well, these ones aren't too bad, so you can do it either way, you can read it out. Usually, like, so with our the housekeeping article, like typically, what, you'll make the motion, somebody will second it, and then like usually you'll just speak to them, just to explain that it's our housekeeping and that we do 10% for each thing. But as far as the project articles, like it's better off, like, so Pat, it'd be great for Pat to speak on the motion for the historical article, and then have the Trails Committee representatives speak on that, so it shouldn't fall on you to defend their projects. You know,
No, that makes
I would
sense.
suggest like that you make the motion.
Yep.
But beyond that, let the the people whose project it is speak on it. The only other thing, like, or even to lead it off, you could just, that we do just make the note that the Community Preservation Committee recommends, so just to back it up. But other than that,
I do, so this is new this year, I think you have, fund shall be in accordance with step 7. So probably most people in the audience may not know what step 7 is, or, I think I know what section you're referring to, about timelines.
yes.
I don't know that I don't remember step 7 specifically, but there might be some question about that.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good to prepare, I mean, print out just that certain portion, that way if somebody, we don't necessarily need to volunteer, but if somebody does ask, it would be good to be prepared.
There'll be one person in the audience that does
Yeah.
always.
Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about the warrant articles?
I think under Article 10, on the second line, and this may have just been cut off from the printing, but it should be fund to be expended, instead of just to expended. It is missing the word be, the
On the second one?
Article 10, the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I put them both as article
Okay.
text, cause there's no real
Alright,
number.
so the one for the trails,
To
to be expended. And maybe the printer cut it off, I don't know.
no, it's probably me,
Okay.
at 11 o'clock at night, cutting it off myself, cause grammar isn't my strong suit.
Especially at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, yeah, I think any little language, things like that, they're probably gonna catch, right? Cause typically, the Board of Selectmen's office and the Town Administrator's office will review all these things to make sure that there's little things like that are caught
Okay.
prior to printing. Yeah, so that's it. The next thing we had under old business was, review, discuss, and act CPC project signage. I never got the new, I did ask, but I didn't get, adding that, because remember the language was wrong. I don't
I saw some in New Bedford, I had jury duty a few weeks ago, and I usually get there early and have breakfast, and then I usually walk, get my exercise, and I walk by a project in a big CPC sign.
Yeah,
This was made possible by the Community Preservation Act.
well, we have that big giant one that was at, that's posted right now, still at the North Dayton Playground.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to make a smaller version that's a little bit easier to move around, and we just didn't get the so we had a original proof, but it was missing a piece of language. And I was missing I think it said just through the community preservation, I think it was missing act and the,
Yes.
so again, but that too, that's something, I did follow up with the sign company, but didn't get a proof back, to present to everybody. But we don't have any projects that it's gonna be posted at, immediately.
Right, so there's no.
So we can always discuss in the next, in a future meeting. I'll try to get clarification on that and then we can move forward. So that too, we only got one price also last time, and it's always good. The more I think about it, from a Parks and Rec perspective, is even on minute things, it's always good to double check and get a second price, so at least we're comparing, a couple different vendors, not to just move forward with one person all the time. Does anybody have any new business?
I have a question on our panels again and everything, and I talked with our executive director and told her, about the billing to go.
I did talk to Rob.
Did you?
Yes.
I asked her if she'd contact you, so we're all set with that then.
Yeah, and I didn't include project updates, but we can do that during our
The question was,
public meeting.
could you bill through her or the original, but I'm set,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Just so actually we can, just real quick before we adjourn this and move into a public meeting, so that ended up being a little bit of a conundrum. Because so typically what we're doing is, the money is going to other town departments with blanketed by our town accountant. So it's like, if it says to be expended by Parks and Rec, I submit a bill schedule with the account number to the accountant, she pays the bill. Where Dayton Housing is its own entity. It's created a little bit more of a difficult process, so what needs to be done for our end is, so housing will pay the bill, so they need to submit back to us a W-9, a copy of the invoice showing that, and also the bill is larger than the amount awarded.
Yeah.
A copy of the invoice proving that the work was done based upon what we agreed to fund, this being electrical panels, and then also the canceled check, and then we'll reimburse them.
And she knows
So,
what you're.
yeah, so we're all up to speed, but just so that way everybody knows that process, cause it is slightly different than the way we normally do things. Cause it's either a CPC bill schedule, if it says to be expended by us, like in the case of the historical commission. Pat would hand us over a bill, I'll write a bill schedule and then turn it in, this is a little different,
That's
so
what
we navigated it, we gotta figure it out.
Yeah, about that, and she was saying, it was not gonna, yes, I'm okay.
It doesn't get.
Does anybody have any public input for our regular meeting? You're gonna have an hour to give public input in the next section, just to be full disclosure. We already had executive session, so that was all set. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So we are adjourned at 5:58.